we were just discussing off air this before coming back on, and I said to you that I believe that Leeds should be punished massively for this and have an example made of. Technically speaking, there isn't anything in the rules, but it's unsporting behaviour and brought the game to disrepute. You said you thought I was a bit harsh with saying about a points deduction, 10, 15 points, send a message.
I wouldn't take points off the team. I don't know. I've always said that about, when teams go into administration, they take points. I don't agree with that.
Like Rangers, I thought that was harsh.
Yeah, I don't. I think there's another way to do it. I don't know how. It's not my job to do that, but I just feel. It's not fair on the fans, is it? Why should the fans... Because it is hurting the fans as well, and the fans aren't involved in the business side of things. They're there to support their team when they can. So I don't agree with that. But I must admit, the press conference was brilliant. I mean, it's like an hour long of him going through... I can't believe, because though you look at the paperwork... And you think it's so much paperwork. Like, he's probably spent more time on that than actually talking to his team on what tactics to do next.
Well, he said they do... It's... The data analysis and himself, they take 4 hours putting it all together.
Yeah, for each game.
For
each team.
Look at how each player performs in so many games beforehand.
Yeah, and did he even say last season, or no? He said he watched Derby County's 53 matches from last season. I'm like, but I don't know if he meant all the 4 matches, but that's an hour and a half each match.
Well, mixed up as Lampard wasn't in charge last season, so it's a complete change of tack.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just brilliant, but
pure dedication.
It's just, as Jamie just said, I obviously heard about what he got up to before he announced the press conference, but it was just one of those things. It was just really weird hearing about it. But Bielsa says it was to help with his anxiety, because I quite liked his reasonings by saying, it was to make it look like he's doing more for the club, because he obviously had this worry that the club board might think you're not doing enough to get us to where we are. Because let's be honest, Leeds' aim is to get back in the Premier League. Has been since they got relegated in 2003, 2004. And I think with Bielsa as well, he comes up with all these excuses, but I feel like it's all... He meant it. He definitely meant it. But there's no rules there. He said in the press conference, officially... Technically, he's not going against the rules, but I'm sure that because they're still investigating, aren't they? So there's still a lot more to learn from it. But I'm sure after it all, they will come up with a rule where you just can't do it anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised, because I think did I read 11 or 12 clubs this was the other day, so some more might have written to the Football League to complain and the FA about it, saying that about how they feel like it's unsporting behaviour and an unfair advantage.
I've not heard any reaction from other managers at any club yet, but I'd love to hear what some of them would think about it. Even if you ask Jurgen Klopp or Pep or whatever, just see what they thought, because they all have different methods of preparing for a match ahead. You just never know what they get up to.
Well, Pep Guardiola said that when Bielsa joins Leeds, said he was one of the best managers he's ever worked under.
Yeah.
And he's been in the game for a long time. To him, it's just mind games. It's just a bit of banter. And when he sees it exploding on the media, as if some Germans have taken over Nakatomi Tower, going absolutely mental, it's probably a shock. It's kind of a shock to him, but he has this attitude that he doesn't care. And, for being in the game for so long, you get that feeling. And he's managed to unnerve people, successfully. So I don't see the problem.
I think Jamie said it spot on, really. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. They asked Stephen Gerrard about it the other day, obviously, for those of you haven't heard, Stephen Gerrard's the Rangers manager, and obviously they asked him about his thoughts because he played with Frank Lampard for England and is still good mates with Lamps, and they asked him his thoughts, and he said, I understand why Lamps is aggrieved by it, but if there's nothing in the rules of the game yet, then technically speaking, Bielsa hasn't done anything wrong. He said everyone does what they can within the rules to get some sort of advantage.
Yeah, hence why I said, they've got to change it if people aren't happy about it, but I think I was watching Football Focus the other day, and they do, as you say, sporting behaviour. It's not nice. It's not, for the clubs, for other club managers, they must think, no, that's not right. You don't do that. There's no respect. But Jamie said it's spot on. He doesn't care. He doesn't care, and he's actually being quite clever.
And if anything, that suits the Leeds style anyway, because Leeds are like the most hated club in the Championship.
He's got a point.
Fan base wise.
Or Millwall. Yeah. Oh no, they're in League One now, aren't they?
Almost.
Oh.
Well, Leeds are also hated by Pizza Hut.
They are hated by Pizza Hut.
Yeah, did you see the tweet? It's brilliant.
What was the actual transcript again? Can you remember? Because you were the one that posted it into our group.
So Leeds, Pizza Hut said there's someone spying outside our restaurant, claiming to be another pizza thing. Saying, is it anything to do with you, Leeds? And he said, well, no, we prefer Domino's because they don't take a week to deliver a tweet. And then Pizza Hut came back and said, that's funny coming from a club that hasn't delivered since 1992.
Last time they won the league title, wasn't it 91, I think?
Something like that, yeah. Who cares?
Not that I can talk.
It's Leeds.
But obviously, Bielsa said it's in the culture abroad. In Spain, it happens quite often, and obviously he said in Argentina, South America, it's a big thing. But when they asked Pellegrini, he said it wasn't a big thing in Chile. So do you think it's something from the Argentinian leagues, or?
I mean, I don't follow the Argentinian league, so I'm not sure. But I mean, I'm not trying to sound harsh for everything, but with Argentinian leagues, it's a lot crazier. The crowds are crazier.
Well, they have to move the Super Classico to
Bernabeu.
To the Bernabeu because of fear of violence.
Exactly,
thousands of miles away.
But with Argentina or stuff like that, they're very passionate people, though. Like, that's why I quite like Bielsa, because when you're from South America, you are coming from a footballing continent. They go on about Brazil, don't they? Copacabana Beach, everyone plays football, no matter how old they are. Even they say old people play football for fun because it's their culture. That's why Brazil are the most successful team in international history, because it is a footballing nation. And they all have that passion, and people like Bielsa just wants to make a name for himself and basically hope he'd make a big name for himself if he got Leeds up there. And I think they could do it, but they lost to Stoke on the weekend, didn't they? And I think their new manager, Nathan Jones, was quite happy to know that his data didn't help them out.